Hello, this is for CIT 371, Linux System Administration. This is going to be a very high level lecture on NFS file sharing. So this lecture is going to be pretty brief compared to the others. I'm just providing an overview of file sharing, including its benefits, and then I'm going to briefly introduce NFS, and then I'm going to go over the lab. So let's talk a little bit about file sharing. So you may think it's pretty simple, but it's important to understand why we need it, what it does. So file sharing is a process that makes select files, in other words, certain files we want to share, accessible to various devices and users. This process is crucial for users, teams, and organizations due to its many benefits. This Power Admin article lists these following benefits. File sharing saves time by storing files at a centralized location that users can access. Allows them to quickly access, share, and work with files on different computers from multiple locations. So, as an example, you can do file sharing through OneDrive. Like if you're on a team, you can like set up a SharePoint site in Teams or upload a file in OneDrive, and then you can all work on it at the same time. You're sharing that file with other people. You keep it limited to those who need access to the file, and you block out anyone else. So file sharing is also good because it eliminates multiple versions. If you just have one version of a file that multiple people are working on, it ensures that all users have access to its most up-to-date iteration. So data loss is also prevented by file sharing because when data is stored off of users' computers, it is not lost when these devices are powered off or unexpectedly crash. And I have a very good example of this from my experience here at NKU. So I've had multiple people have left the university and they had like files that an entire department would rely on. And when that person left, the OneDrive is deleted. So the departments would lose files because because they were not stored on like the appropriate what we call the K drive, which is our file server for sharing files based on department. We control that through Active Directory. But yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, when you don't store files in an appropriate location for file sharing, you end up losing them. It happens quite a bit, especially when people leave. So file sharing also helps with enhancing security because instead of users saving files on their computers, which are like a laptop or a phone, and that device can be lost or stolen, so we can store the files on a protected centralized server that ensures confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Furthermore, we can have a backup server to store copies of the data. File sharing also reduces storage costs by using a centralized server or multiple if you have DFS solution or something similar. And then finally, file sharing limits access to specific users. It enhances security by implementing shared permissions that ensure files are accessible to users who have a valid reason to do so. We can go a little further beyond that by having file sharing, like with Windows, we can limit what permissions people have or certain users have to certain files. Like if you only want certain people to have read access to a folder and its contents versus another group of people that have write and read access. So file sharing has a lot of benefits. So NFS is a protocol that facilitates file sharing. It's one of like the two major ones, including SMB. We cover NFS in this course because it's more tailored to Linux. So NFS does this by controlling how files are kept in storage devices and how they are accessed over the network. So NFS works with file systems which are made available to users via permission settings. So if a user has authorization to access a specific share, that person can mount that file system on his or her computer. So NFS works through a client-server model. So each server and client must have their respective software installed. So you need to install the NFS packages. You need to have a network connection. You need to be configured to work with NFS requests. So in addition, clients must also be authorized to access file shares on the server. So NFS is based in Linux, but it also is used in Windows, also Solaris systems, and can be utilized in cloud computing. That's all I'm going to talk about NFS because I want you all to do a little more research on it. So you're going to actually have to learn how to set up NFS on your own. So the lab document is going to contain unique instructions. The guides you may find may not include. I do want to note what that means is that when you find articles online on how to set up NFS, they may omit steps you're going to need to implement to make your solution work. So please make sure you adjust what you do in the lab according to these unique instructions in the lab document. In other words, the instruction document that you download from Canvas. If you don't, your solution may not work. So please keep that in mind. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions or need help, just let me know. Appreciate your time. Hope you have a wonderful day.